Right. I would like for you to check your answers of how to solve the front of this. I'm going to go kind of quick through this. So after I solve each problem, you need to stop the video and check your work to see if your answer matches my answer, and if it doesn't, you might need to go back and rewatch how I solved it or fix your problem. That way you get the correct answer. The first thing I'm going to do is you can write it up here at the top, or I'm going to write it right here on the name, but you need to write the acronym that we use. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? That is going to help us solve these problems. First thing I'm going to do is divide. 5 divided by 5. How many times can I divide 5 M&Ms by 5 friends? I can do that 1 time. Now I'm going to multiply. 1 times 5 is 5. I'm going to subtract. 5 minus 5 is 0. I'm going to check my remainder. Is 0 smaller than 5? Yes, it is. I'm going to bring it up. How many times can I divide 0 by 5? 0 times. 0 times 5 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. Is 0 less than 5? Yes, it is. And then I don't have anything to bring up. This is where I would pause the video and check your answer. If this is not 10, then you did something wrong, and you need to stop and figure out what you did wrong and correct your answer and make sure you have it solved correctly. Number 2, 4 divided by 2. If I have 4 M&Ms and I divide them between 2 friends, what is my answer up here? Well, 4 divided by 2 is 2. Now I'm going to multiply. 2 times 2 is 4. Now I'm going to subtract. 4 minus 4 is 0. I'm going to check my remainder. Is 0 smaller than 2? Yes, it is. Now I'm going to bring up my remainder, and it's 0 up here. Now I have 8 M&Ms. 8 divided by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now I'm going to multiply. 4 times 2 is 8. Now I'm going to subtract. 8 minus 8 is 0. Check my remainder. Is 0 smaller than 2? Yes, it is. Now I'm going to bring up, but this is a 0, so I do not have to bring anything up. My answer is 24. You need to pause your video. Number 3. 3 divided by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Now I multiply. 1, and I always like to put kind of a little multiplication sign there. 1 times 3 is 3. Now I subtract. 3 subtract 3 is 0. Check my remainder. Is 0 smaller than 3? Yes, it is. Now I'm going to bring up. Now I start back at the beginning. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract. 9 subtract 9 is 0. 0 is smaller than 3, so I checked my remainder. There's nothing to bring up, so your answer is 13. You should pause your video. Number 4. 8 divided by 7 is 1. Now I'm going to multiply. 1 times 7 is 7. Now I'm going to subtract. 8 subtract 7 is 1. Check my remainder. Is 1 smaller than 7? Yes, it is. Now I'm going to bring up. I'm going to bring my 1 up to right here. I'm going to start over. 14 divided by 7 is 2. Now I'm going to multiply. 2 times 7 is 14. Now I'm going to subtract. 14 subtract 14 is 0. Check my remainder. Is 0 smaller than 7? Yes, it is. Now I'm going to bring up, but there's nothing to bring up, so your answer should be 12. Pause your video. Number 5. 6 divided by 4 is 1. Now multiply. 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract. 6 subtract 4 is 2 left over. Check your remainder. Is 2 less than 4? Yes, it is. So I'm going to bring up. So now my 2 goes here. Now I have to do 20 divided by 4. Our number here is getting a little bit bigger. So if you don't have a multiplication chart handy that you can use, then I recommend skip counting by 4 or doing your multiplication facts in your head by 4. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20. So that means my 5 goes up here. Now I'm multiplying. 5 times 4 is 20. Now I'm subtracting. 20 subtract 20 is 0. Check my remainder. Is 0 less than 4? Yes, it is. And then I bring up, but there's nothing to bring up. So my answer is 15. Pause your video. Number 6. 8 divided by 3. Again, we could do our multiplication facts. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9, but 9 is bigger than 8, so it can't be that one, so it has to be 2. So I put my 2 on top. Now I multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. Now I subtract. 8 subtract 6 is 2. Now I check my remainder. Is 2 smaller than 3? Yes, it is. Now I bring it up. Now I have 21. 21 divided by 3. Well, this is a bigger one again. So I'm going to do my multiplication facts by 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 7 is 21. So I can stop there. The number that goes on top is 7. So now I multiply. 7 times 3 is 21. Now I subtract. 21 subtract 21 is 0. Is 0 smaller than 3? Yes, it is. and there's nothing to bring up, so your answer should be 27. Now you should pause your video. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to rewrite our acronym right here. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Okay, down here. 9 divided by 5 is 1. Now I'm going to multiply. 1 times 5 is 5. We're going to subtract. 9 subtract 5 is 4. I'm going to check my remainder. Is 4 smaller than 5? Yes, it is. So I'm going to bring that 4 up here. And now it becomes 45. 45 is a big number, so I'm going to count by 5s until I get to 45. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. I have 9 fingers out there, and I got to 45, so the number that's going to go on top is going to be 9. Now I'm going to multiply. 9 times 5 is 45. I'm going to subtract. 45 subtract 45 is 0. Check my remainder. Is 0 smaller than 5? Yes, it is. Now I'm going to bring up, but there's nothing to bring up. Your answer should be 19. Pause your video. Number 8. 9 divided by 8 is 1. Now we multiply. 1 times 8 is 8. Now we subtract. 9 minus 8 is 1. Check our remainder. Is 1 smaller than 8? Yes, it is. Now I'm going to bring it up. We have 16. 16 divided by 8. 8's a bigger number. You can use your multiplication chart or you can do your 8s. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. And that's 16. So our 2 goes on top. And 2 times 18 is 16. So now I subtract. 16 subtract 16 is 0. Check my remainder. Is 0 smaller than 8? Yes, it is. And there's nothing to bring up. Your answer should be 12. Pause your video. Last one on this page. 6 divided by 2. We can skip count by 2s. 2, 4, 6. So our number on top should be 3. Now I multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. Now I subtract. 6 subtract 6 is 0. Check my remainder. Is 0 smaller than 2? Yes, it is. Now I bring it up. And 8. Okay, 8. Let's skip count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8. So our 4 goes on top. 4 times 2 is 8. Now we're going to subtract. 8 subtract 8 is 0. We're going to check our remainder. Is 0 smaller than 2? Yes, it is. And there's nothing to bring up. So your answer should be 34.